Hello, ladies. Welcome back. I hope everyone had a wonderful week.
Oh, it's
Hi.
great. Thanksgiving. I'm so full from that Thanksgiving turkey. I don't know what to do. I don't want to see no more Christmas now. No more.
So, did you all have a good Thanksgiving, Wendy? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Uh,
Well, did you go home to your dad or you stayed in Atlanta?
I
Well,
can't
I'm not.
remember.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Wendy remembers what Thanksgiving is. But anyway, so I had a good Thanksgiving. I went to Florida with my sister and my cousin. We had a really really good holiday. So we were in the sun, just having a little bit of fun. Anyway,
Good.
so we hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family and friends as well. Remember, we need you to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to click that little bell up there so when we have new content, you will know. Ladies, now Wendy, did you have a good holiday?
I did. I did. I had a lovely holiday. Yes.
Well, wonderful. I wanted to make sure you did because if you didn't, I was going to say we need to have a do-over for Thanksgiving for you.
No, it's all good. All good.
All right, good, good. So listen, we want to talk about what things annoy you or are boring about a man inside and outside of the bedroom, because as you mature, some things that excited you before might be boring to you now and vice versa. So the only way to really know whether or not it's something that affects you adversely is, of course, to be in a relationship. But since we are ladies not in a relationship right now, we're just going to talk among ourselves. How about that? And share it with you. And you know what? If you have something to share with us, because we all got some things that we can talk about. We've met some boring men. We talked about some bad dates. Now let's talk about some bad relationships that you tried to get out of. You really did, but you were having difficulty, but you found a way to get out of it because you know what? He was boring as heck. Anyway. So listen, Wendy, tell us about any what things about men, whether it was in the past or now, bore you inside or outside of the bedroom.
Okay, let's go.
Oh,
Oh, like that. Let's
yes.
go.
All right, let's go with outside first, okay? Before we get to the bedroom, let's go with outside
Okay.
the bedroom first, okay? Um, and this is it's my opinion now, okay? No
Of
judgment.
course.
But if you're untraveled, I find that kind of boring.
Yes.
Untraveled, like you've never traveled.
Right.
Um,
You've only been to the corner store and the library.
you haven't been out of your town or yeah. Or maybe even somebody who
Limited
just
travel.
what was that?
I said even limited traveling.
Hadn't been out of the state or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Maybe even you don't have to read, but I like for a person to be know a little bit about history or politics or something.
Yeah, be
You know
able
what
to
I'm
Some.
hold
saying?
the, be able
Current
to hold the
events.
conversation.
Yes, yes. Oh,
Just
yes.
keep the conversation.
And that's summing it all up, Chris. Really, I like a conversationalist. So if I have to carry the conversation, that makes it kind of boring for me because it's can be more of a struggle
Yes.
just to keep that going. So that's what I find. Let's see, anything else on here? I think that's what I had as far as outside of the bedroom. Okay.
So
Now
now before you
let's
before
go
you
to
move on,
bedroom. Oh, okay.
to inside the bedroom. So how many? So have you met a lot of men that were boring like that weren't well traveled, that couldn't hold a conversation?
I mean, I've met a few.
Okay.
Yes, yes, I've met a few.
Okay.
Um, I had an ex that he wasn't he didn't like to travel, I guess is what it was, or he had never traveled. I asked him, "Have you been on vacation before?" And he said, "Yeah, my job sends me, out of town for." I said, "Well, that's not a vacation." And then he said, Right. And then he said, listen to this. He says, I visited family, in other states and stuff like that.
With family reunions and
That's not a
that's
vacation.
not a vacation, truly.
So sure, he's traveled now, but back then, no travel, no interest in travel. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we going to the bedroom now, ladies?
Yes, to the bedroom we go.
Okay. All right. So then if you're not romantic, unromantic.
So tell me, what's romantic to you? What does that mean? It means different things to different people.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's very matter of opinion, right? But I
Yeah.
mean, I think that you got to put a little bit of effort into setting the mood.
So you want
Right.
someone, that you okay, so let's just put it out there. It's simple. Foreplay. You want some foreplay
But we're
involved.
not even, let's be, before we even get to that.
Oh, we haven't
A
gotten there
foreplay
yet.
can be conversation, not necessarily just
Exactly.
the
Touching and what it can definitely
sexual.
become. All right. Well, you know what? We telling Wendy's story.
You tell me,
Sorry, Wendy.
looks like a candle for some
Right. Yeah. Set the mood. I like that.
mood, make the lights, turn the music on. Okay, let's get there before we get to
Okay.
the foreplay, right? Definitely foreplay though. But yeah, that's okay. So what else is boring in the bedroom? For me, premature, all of that early. Say it for you ladies, do I? All of that. Yeah. I like emotional intimacy, kind of a connection, a
Right.
spiritual connection, or, just make me feel secure. And
Stimulate your mind,
yes, yes, yes.
mind
Absolutely.
stimulation is body stimulation.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. So that's what, so if I don't get that, you're on the boring side. So that's it for me.
So once again, how many men have, no, I don't want to say how many men because that's no one's business, but you've had encounters with boring men that didn't do any of those things right. So did you just end the relationships, or what happened in those situations? Did you kind of hang
Um,
out with them for a while because you didn't want to hurt their feelings, or?
I probably just took the lead on the romance or the mood setting. I probably just took the lead, hoping he would catch on. You know what I mean?
Right. But eventually
Um,
you couldn't do that forever, right?
no, that's just why that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, it ran its course. It ran its course.
And that's where I was going, because after a while, the bad thing is when you let it linger on too long, people
Mhm.
pick up on it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And the
yeah.
last thing is, most people don't want to just, really just hurt someone's feelings, just for GP, that's not necessarily what you want to do, I don't think anyway. But some people let it linger on, and then it kind of just dissipates itself, because sometimes the first person recognizes that, there's something. But let me ask you this. What about having a conversation with the person about those things? Have you ever done that? To find out, because sometimes people don't know.
I've had conversations like that, and I can truthfully say that it doesn't go well. The man can't handle it. He doesn't take it as, let's say, constructive criticism. Um,
No, and it's not constructive
no, I'm
criticism.
saying in my
It's
experience,
feedback. No, I'm saying it's feedback for him. It's
right.
feedback for him to, be
But
able.
you asked, have you ever had that conversation? And
Right,
I'm
no, but
saying,
I'm just saying it's not criticizing him. You're giving him feedback. That's all.
I know, but they take it as criticism. Like
Right.
I've not found it to be helpful.
Well
Let's put it
received.
like that.
So tell us.
Did you try that, Bunny, in the past? You tried to,
Yeah, I've tried telling
yeah.
a person things that would make it better for both of us, and they they didn't take it well at all.
And I can believe that
Mm.
because men's egos get in the way, you know what I mean? Because for whatever reason, they think, I don't know, they think they know the best way for everything, especially when it comes to inside the bedroom in a lot of cases. So I can definitely see that. So Vonnie, then tell us what things about men are boring to you inside and outside of the bedroom.
Outside the bedroom, I already know you're going to be boring. Inside the bedroom, if you're a person that constantly talks about yourself, that constantly will talk about work, that the conversation, in other words, is not a conversation about you and I. It's basically about you, you know. Yeah, my this, my that, and I did this. I did 30 crunches at the gym. I did this, I did that. And, at work, blah, 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 blah. If you come in home every day with that story, where's the room for us? There's no us in the story. It's mostly a you and yours. It's not a me and ours. So we probably we in some cases, yeah, we have gotten to the bedroom, but I just find that type of mentality, it stays with you through whatever you're doing.
It's selfish, right? It's
It's
kind of
selfish. Yes,
yeah.
thank you. That's the
Mhm.
word I'm looking for. It's
Mhm.
selfish.
But they
Mhm.
don't
So
even see it as being selfish. You know that? They
no,
really they don't. They don't see it as being
no, they
selfish.
don't. They don't. I think I brought this up to someone, um, and they said, "Oh, you want mushy love?" Excuse me.
Well, that's a
I
passion, you know?
Yeah, I want some enjoyment out of this. I don't want this to be a work related thing going on. you know. So for me, if I meet someone that's like that, even if I stick around for a little while thinking, because you think they're going to change.
Right.
Now that we're older, we already know they're not going to change. So if you meet them in the beginning and that's how they are, then you
That's
have
probably the best game in the beginning.
yes,
Exactly.
right, because they done
Exactly.
told you how it's going to be.
Yeah.
So, but when you're younger, you don't know any better. You kind of go along with the okey doke. You think that it's going to change when they pass through those private doors, and it does not. But you're still young and you don't know, so you'll wait until you can't wait anymore. All
Mm.
right. So that's one of my pet peeves on a relationship. I like somebody to be funny, and our conversation is our conversation. And yeah, you could talk about you, and you can talk about the job, and I can talk about me and the job, but at some point, it's our conversation. You
Right.
know. So and the same thing to me is someone in the bedroom that's not affectionate. I love affection. If you're not affectionate, if you just, I feel like Whoopi, when Whoopi Goldberg was in The Color Purple, and she said, "I just let Mister get on me and do his business." That
That's my favorite movie. You guys know that, right?
Yes, I
oh,
know.
okay. I know quite a few people who is their favorite. That part is my favorite part because I get where Whoopi's coming from.
Do
Okay,
his business, Bonnie.
huh?
Do his business.
Do his business, because once they get in the bedroom, if they're not affectionate, if they're not romantic, if they don't set the mood, if the conversation, I mean, all of it is rolled up into one.
Yes,
Yeah.
You
it's all
know,
relative to where you are at
right?
that point.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
to make it a meaningful experience for both of us, not just
Exactly.
me. But if you just about you, it's always going to be just about you. I'm never going to be in the picture. So you miss the doing your business.
So Vonnie, for those type of men that you've encountered, was it difficult, ending the relationship, or did the relationship just kind of fizzle out?
Um, in my younger days, I would say it kind of fizzled out.
Okay.
In my older days, I'm gonna tell you, this ain't working. I'm
So, so,
sorry.
so have you had that conversation with someone and they were offended? Okay.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
had it with a few someones and they've been offended. You know, I don't, and you know, it's like the guy I think I told you I went out with, and he wanted to kiss, and I always kept doing like that because his breath stunk, right?
Yeah,
And
halitosis.
I didn't know how to say it because of past experience on telling people things, I couldn't fit, and I would ask everybody, anybody I know, how would you say this? And everybody thinks it's so easy to just say it.
Well, it
It's
is
not
when you're
easy.
not looking at someone looking at the person in the face. It is easy. When you're looking at them, it's not easy.
Even if you weren't looking at them, there's feelings, there's things, and the person didn't take it at all nice.
So you
So
did tell him, Vonnie? You told him?
I had to, because he was putting it on me, like, oh, you always turn your head, you do this, you do that. And I said, there's a reason. I don't know how to say this. And I mean, I went through anything, any scenario anyone has ever given me. I put all the scenarios together to try to make it as painless and nice and
Yeah.
understanding. I said,
Yeah.
that you told me you had a problem with,
Ooh,
I think it's affecting your
ooh,
breath.
ooh. Chris, we just talked about that whole dental thing.
Exactly, exactly.
We
So,
had a, we had a conversation about dental hygiene.
Oh, yeah.
so ladies, you guys have covered a lot of the same things that I would find to be boring. I like to talk about politics. I need someone that travels so we can talk about, different countries and whatnot, different experiences. I like to work out, so I need someone that's going to work out. I cannot have a couch potato. I do not want someone that watches sports all the time, and that's what their life is all about. And you know what, guys? That spiritual saying, equally yoked, is so true. You have to have someone that you have things in common with. We sometimes tend to try to be in relationships with people because they're cute or they have money or they're a good social person. But in the long run, you've got to have many things in common with that person in order for there to be longevity in the relationship. So because you guys said that you got out of the relationships or the relationships fizzled out, that was good, because now that person and you as well are now free to hopefully meet someone that actually is more equally yoked with you. So for me, you've got to like to work out. You have to like to travel, um, good conversationalist, not a couch potato. If you watch sports, you've got to know how to balance the sports and the relationship. And I'm gonna give you this scenario for the bedroom, because this is a true one, and this person is not a social media person, so I'm not going to give their name anyway. But anyway, so in the bedroom, boring is missionary. That's boring, and I knew a missionary. If you know what I mean. And
Mhm.
no matter what I did, because you try to do things, to give the person, without just telling them. You try to do things, to give the person some subtle little hints and whatnot. And this person would not take the hints. They move away or they do this, and I was like, well, aren't you interested in being a little bit more adventurous? They said no.
Aha.
Wow.
They actually
I
said
don't think I
no.
met that. I don't think I met anybody like that.
They actually said no. And let me just tell you guys, I think this is so weird. I think it's because the person is OCD that they think so many things are just not clean. You,
Oh, okay.
you know what I'm saying? I think the person, because the person was really a neat freak, you know.
Yeah.
So I never really got into a real conversation about it, because I seen like, I could tell that it was not going to change. And I need a little bit more adventure. I am not a prude, but I do have my limits, but I need some adventure. I need it there to be a page turner. I need it to be a page turner.
Mhm, mhm.
So it does not need to be the same every time we're together,
Yeah.
because when you read a book, every page is talking about something different. And
Yeah. I
you have
mean, and if you think about being with somebody for years and forever,
Oh,
okay,
I couldn't
Lord.
even go.
forever.
My brain wouldn't even let me think that far. It was depressing. It was depressing.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
That's
and,
that's definitely boring.
and I'm going to say that if you stayed in a relationship, I would never do this because that's a waste of my time and it's too much work. But some people would stay in a relationship like that for some reason, other reasons, like if the person was a good provider, and then they go and they cheat. You know what I'm saying? So trying to have both sides, having their cake and eat it too. But for me, that just was not the case. I could not, yeah. But I'm gonna have to admit
Did
something.
you have a conversation, Chris, with him, or
No,
no?
I never know how to, like Bonnie was saying, I didn't know how to do that. I just tried to do things in the bedroom to kind of give the person hints and whatnot. And and this was when I was young. I was older, but younger still. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know how to have that conversation. I'll be totally honest with you. But let me just tell you, to add salt to the wound, I went back in that relationship a second time.
Yeah. Did you think it had changed?
Yes, because I thought it was maybe 15 years later, so I thought maturity had set in.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably forgot what the problem was before.
He was still on the same mission.
And you know what? There are men who they are not adventurous. They stay in the missionary position forever. Okay, because they think that is right. And they don't think anything else is, they think is something wrong with it.
Freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, everyone out there, we're trying to be as nondescript as possible. So I'm sure that if you are a mature individual and believe that there is a silver lining still, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So don't forget, guys.
And you know what you want in life. You know that at this age and juncture of your life, you want fun, you want adventure,
You want excitement,
pleasure.
Oh, pleasure.
Yes, pleasure. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So guys, we want you to please remember, we need you to subscribe, we need you to like, and we need you to share. And don't forget to click the bell at the top, because as you can see, we are women of a certain age and we like to have good conversation. And this is a good conversation because I know I'm waiting for the comments because I'm going to respond to every last one of them, because I know all of you have been at this stage and juncture in your life at one point in time. And you know what? And as you get, ladies, tell me, as you get older, it doesn't change. You still want all those same things, right?
You know more about what you want as you get older.
That's
because me as a young woman, I mean, in the beginning of, starting to have sex, in the beginning, it was more like, oh, is this all it is? Like I'm just getting my hair messed up. You know what I'm saying?
For what reason?
Like, is this the big deal?
I'm going to say that I feel when I was a young woman, I was blessed, very blessed. And I thank all those that were involved that helped to shape and form me to be a more worldly woman, understanding when, unlike the guys, if you tell them something and get all into their emotions, I was young. And I got in my emotions because I thought, oh God, I did something wrong. I'm not doing this right or what. But I listened and I paid attention, and it made me a much better person to understand things in life and, be able to roll with the punches.
You weren't offended. You took everything that you were given and utilized it as you moved along in life, and you see what difference it made in your life. So yeah, absolutely. Ladies, anything else you like to share about the good, the bad, and the boring?
I don't want no more of them, that's for sure.
You know what? And that's a good thing. At this stage of the game, we know exactly what we want and what we don't want. And you know what? I am not letting anyone hang around for any period of time if they are not fitting into. And people will be like, well, you have to make concessions. Yeah, but you have to know what concessions you're willing to make. And if those concessions that you're not willing to make are that important to you, then they got to move on.
Right.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, sex is only I don't want to say a small portion of a relationship, but it's a percentage of the relationship, right? But
Yeah,
if that is not satisfying, then, and you tell the person, the issues that you have with it, they got to be receptive to that if they want to move forward in the
to move
relationship,
forward.
right? Yeah,
Exactly. And you know what? I think that a person that's more open, more worldly would be more accepting of that type of feedback, especially if they really did care about you and wanted to develop
I
a
think so.
real
Mhm.
relationship,
I think so.
I think so as well. So listen, ladies, what do you want our viewers to do so that they can keep up with us?
Like,
Subscribe,
share.
comment.
And click that little bell at the top so that you know when we have new content, because as you can see, like I said earlier, we are very interesting and we can have some really, really good, juicy conversations. So we need you to like, share, subscribe, and click on that bell. Ladies, we are getting ready for another holiday. So any words of wisdom for our viewers out there as we go into another holiday?
Just be blessed, be safe, and enjoy. Whatever you do, just enjoy. Very
Yes, take
much.
time and spend time with your family and your friends and tell them you love them and give them a big hug.
And I agree with everything they said. And don't forget, we have a surprise guest next week. So please make sure that you are available and ready, because we're going to have some great conversations with our surprise guest. So listen, everyone, have a wonderful week and we will see you very soon. Good night.
Night.